Welcome to the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, where we share practical ways to help older adults live safely, confidently, and independently. I'm Robin Schiltz, a Senior Home Safety Specialist, and today we're talking about how to feel more prepared for conversations you may be tempted to avoid. For more helpful tips, resources for seniors and caregivers, visit us at seniorsafetyadvice.com. Have you ever known that you needed to talk with someone you love, but you kept putting it off? Maybe you need to talk with your parent about driving, or maybe you notice that bills are being missed, or medications are getting confused, or the house is getting harder to manage. Maybe you wanted to suggest a home safety assessment, or help from a caregiver, or a move to a safer place. You know the conversation matters, but every time you start thinking about it, your stomach gets tight. You start imagining an argument, you worry about hurting the person's feelings, you're afraid they're going to accuse you of trying to take over their life. So you put off the conversation and you wait. That reaction is completely understandable. Hard conversations feel hard because something important is at stake. You care about the person, you care about the relationship, and you may not know how they're going to respond. The goal is not to make every difficult conversation comfortable. That may not be possible, but the goal is to help you feel prepared enough to begin the conversation. One reason these conversations become so frightening is that we build the entire discussion in our minds before it happens. We imagine every objection, every angry response, and every possible disaster. So by the time we finally speak, we may already feel defensive. Preparation can change that. Start by getting clear about the purpose of the conversation. Ask yourself, what am I really concerned about? Try to describe the concern in one simple sentence. For example, I'm worried that Dad could fall when he steps into the bathtub, or I'm worried that Mom is missing important doses of her medicine. That's much clearer than thinking, everything's getting unsafe. When you identify the specific concern, the conversation becomes smaller and more manageable. Next, think about what you hope will happen after the conversation. You may want your parent to stop driving immediately, but that may not be a realistic first step. A more reasonable goal might be getting them to agree to a driving evaluation, a doctor's appointment, or a trial period of avoiding nighttime driving. The first conversation does not have to solve everything. It may simply be something that opens the door. Timing also makes a difference. Avoid beginning a serious conversation when someone is tired, hungry, sick, rushing out the door, or already upset. Try to choose a quiet time when neither of you feels trapped. A calm conversation over coffee probably will go a lot better than bringing up driving while your parent's behind the wheel. Whenever possible, begin with respect rather than instructions. You could say, I want to talk about something because I care about you and I want to hear what you think. That feels very different than, we need to talk about what you're doing wrong. Use specific examples instead of general statements. Telling someone you can't manage the house anymore sounds like a judgment. Saying, I notice the broken step has been difficult for you to get up and down over, and I'm worried you could fall, gives the person something clear to respond to. You also want to try avoiding words like always and never. Mom, you never take your medication correctly is going to create defensiveness. Where I noticed 2 doses were still in the pill organizer this week and that concerns me, keeps the conversation focused on what actually happens. It also helps to use the I word more often than the you word. You might say, I feel worried when I can't reach you by phone, rather than, oh my gosh, Mom, you never answer your phone. You're still being honest. You're simply describing your concern without turning it into an accusation. Once you've shared your concern, pause. Give the other person time to respond. Silence can feel uncomfortable, yes, but you don't have to fill every quiet moment. Your parent may need time to understand what you're saying and decide how they feel about it. When they do talk, listen to the fear underneath their words. A parent who says, you're trying to take away my car, may really be saying, I'm afraid of losing my freedom. Someone who refuses to have at-home help may be worried about losing their privacy, money, or control. Now, you don't have to agree with every objection, but recognizing the fear can help to lower the tension around it. Your response could be something like, I understand that this feels like a threat to your independence, and I would probably feel that way too. And then bring the conversation back around to the shared goal, which could be something like staying at home longer, or continuing to drive as safely as possible, or avoiding a medication mistake or a fall or an emergency move. When people see that you're trying to protect their independence rather than take it away from them, they may become more willing to consider options. Offer choices whenever you can. Instead of saying, Dad, you need somebody to be here with you every day, instead ask, Dad, would you rather have someone come twice a week in the morning or in the afternoon? Instead of announcing that grab bars are just going to be installed whether they like it or not, ask whether they would prefer to have one beside the toilet or one near the shower first. Choices help a person remain involved in decisions about their own life. Now, be prepared for the possibility that the first conversation may not go well. Your parent might become angry, they might deny the problem, they might change the subject or refuse to continue. That doesn't mean the conversation failed. Sometimes people need a time to process an idea, especially when it involves a change they didn't choose. You can say, we don't have to decide everything today, but I would like us to think about it and we can talk again. And then follow through. Do not bring the subject up 5 more times that afternoon. Give everyone a little breathing room and return to it at a calmer time. Before the conversation, it may help you to practice what you want to say. Write down your opening sentence and then say it aloud, and practice keeping your voice steady and your words simple. You don't need a perfect speech. You only need a respectful beginning. It's also wise to decide what you'll do if emotions rise. You might plan to say, okay, Mom, I can see that this is upsetting you. Excuse me. So let's take a break and come back to it later. Taking a break is not the same as giving up. It can protect the relationship and prevent both of you from saying things you'll regret later. Some conversations may require support from another person, like a doctor, an occupational therapist, a care manager, a social worker, or a trusted family friend. They may be able to help you explain the concern in a way that your parent can hear more easily. Just be careful not to surprise your parent with a room full of people. That can make it feel like an ambush. Hard conversations become less frightening when you stop expecting yourself to control the outcome. You can prepare carefully and speak respectfully, and you can listen, and you can offer reasonable choices. But you cannot control another adult's feelings or decisions. Your job is to communicate with care and honesty. Think about one conversation you've been avoiding. Don't try to plan every word today. Just write down your concern, the goal, and one gentle opening sentence. That small amount of preparation can replace some of the dread with confidence. You don't have to feel fearless before you begin either. You only have to feel ready enough to take that first opening step. So thanks so much for being here with me today. For more practical tips and resources to help older adults stay safer and more independent, visit us at seniorsafetyadvice.com. You can also visit our sister website at aginginplacedirectoryhub.com to find aging-in-place specialists who may be able to help your family. Please subscribe to this podcast or to our YouTube channel as well so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, this is Robin wishing you safety, confidence, and peace of mind. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye.